mindset is very, very important when we approach challenges, because if we have a mindset of negative mindset, and then you will always think about the negative side of things. But if you have a positive mindset, you'll be able to know that, there's lots of possibilities that you can create. Sometimes I feel that it's the fear of commitment that people might have. Like, I don't think I can commit to this because of the fact that I might not have the capacity to do so. I think sometimes we just have to take up the challenge and be able to do the things that we need to do. Courage is actually doing things afraid. Sometimes it's not all the time that you have the perfect moment. We are all humans. It's okay to make mistakes as long as we kind of reflect and we learn from them, and then we get better.
Like what we always say in our community, right? Explore, experiment, and then you evaluate and try new things, right? If this doesn't work, then try something else. And that definitely helps to cultivate courage and encourage them to keep trying new things, keep attempting, keep exploring, keep experimenting.
If everybody, waits for everyone else to start the first move, then nobody will do it. So I believe courage plays a very important part to be able to help, to be able to be driven by somebody to take up the certain course of action for doing certain things. It's good to reflect on what's the next step we want to take and whether it's in line with our core values. So usually I will ask myself whether what I'm doing is the right thing to do before proceeding on that course of action.
Do introspective reflection, especially whether what we did or did not do is aligned to our core values. I think that's a super way of doing a reflection, to keeping our core values in mind. Welcome to the Summit series of Voices of Courage Asia, where we celebrate leaders, changemakers, and visionaries who embody courage and drive transformative impact. I'm your host for today. My name is Lillian, and in this special series, we explore stories of resilience, leadership, and the bold steps taken to create meaningful change. And today I have a very special guest, and she is no stranger to us in our community, and she's none other than Wendy. Hello, Wendy.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Right, let me properly introduce Wendy. Right, Wendy, she is a dedicated professional in financial services who has been guiding individuals and businesses towards financial security for over 18 years. Right, and yeah, and she is also, an expertise in the financial advisory, and she has empowered many to achieve their financial goals with confidence. And of course, Wendy is also one of our community leaders at Women of Courage Asia, as well as a member with her Courage Business Network. So very happy to have this conversation with you today.
Yes, happy to be here too.
Yeah. So, right, in this recording, we are going to talk about everything and anything about courage, leadership, and transformation. Right. So, what does inspiring courage for transformative impact mean to you personally?
Okay, so personally, I feel that, to be able to envision a world that's bigger than myself, and then with my courage, I can do things, and then the world will be changed by my ideas and actions.
Can you share with us like a pivotal moment when courage transformed how you lead or approach challenges that you can share?
Okay, so for me, in the past, I never really organized events before, like in terms of like the large scale events. And then I felt that like in that sense, I've actually over the years, I've organized many, many events, like for example, cycling, rugby events, and just even mental wellness events. So that was pivotal because I begin to realize things happen. It's not only like all about myself, but it's be able to just even influence and impact others through the things that I do. Yeah. So that was pivotal for me.
Right. That's
Mm.
really like stepping out of your comfort zone, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay. Oh, how about what inspired you to pursue a leadership role, and how has your journey influenced others? Because I know you were with me together since the very beginning, even before Women of Courage Asia, right, at Connecting Mother Support Group. And then subsidiarily, you took up the leadership role. And yeah, how has this journey been for you, and how does it influence others?
So, okay, so in the past, I've always been kind of like fearful. And when I organize events, sometimes I feel that like nobody will come because it's like maybe it's not impactful enough and like it's not meaningful enough and things like that. So it's kind of like breaking the mindset that I have. And I feel that personally, mindset is very, very important when we approach challenges because if we have a mindset of negative mindset, and then you will always think about the negative side of things. But if you have a positive mindset, you'll be able to know that, there's lots of possibilities that you can create. And on top of that, you'll be able to know that life is not all about yourself, but be able to just even look at, people that are around and be able to impact others. So the pivotal moment was for me when the fact that I begin to know that I can create things happening for people and create things happening for myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that thanks for sharing that. I mean, it has been a journey.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it has.
and you definitely demonstrated courage in this journey lah. Yeah, I mean, I'm a witness of your transformation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit more about leadership, yeah? And do you have a story or can you share a story when you had to make a very courageous decision as a leader? And we make decisions all the time, right? And oftentimes, especially in the leadership role, we had to make very difficult decisions. So is there a story like that you can share that you need that courage to make that decision?
So I can think of situations whereby sometimes the decisions I make can be a bit uncomfortable and then it makes other people uncomfortable. Then I realize that, sometimes is even though I'm in the leadership role and it's uncomfortable, I have to make those decisions. I cannot just, just even think that, okay, I want to be the person who is always um kind of like favoring what other people say and then therefore not make the decision that I have to make. So it's sometimes like it kind of throws me off my comfort zone because I always want to like make people happy in a sense. Yeah, but of course end of the day as a leader, sometimes you just have to stand your ground. You just have to just even know that is for the better of everybody else, and you just have to stand your ground lah eventually. Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think this is one of the areas that we learn. Yeah, I think personally for me as well. Yeah, not I cannot please everybody. Yeah, and then we just got to do what we got to do, and it's for the good of the bigger picture lah. For the bigger the bigger picture. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for making that bold, courageous decision, as and when you need to. And I mean, working with you, alongside with you, I also appreciate, those times where you speak up, and you have to ask those questions that you need to ask. And yeah, and that was really, really very helpful. Yeah, because we all see things from different perspective, and we have blind spot. So it's really very nice and encouraging to know that we have different leaders, seeing different perspective, bringing up, their thoughts and insights. So yeah, really appreciate that. And okay, now how talking about engaging with people, right? How do you encourage or even cultivate courage in people, and especially in the people that you are influencing, the people that you are leading? Yeah, how do you cultivate that?
So I always say that, sometimes you kind of feel that you want to be able to just even do things whenever you feel there's a courage. There's courage rising up when you do certain things. But I always like have this thing back at the back of my mind saying that, courage is actually doing things afraid. Sometimes it's not all the time that you have the perfect moment to just even do things, but just doing things afraid. But in the end, it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's just that is end of the day, if you make mistakes, it's good to just learn from them. And then ultimately, yeah, we're all humans. So it's okay to make mistakes as long as we kind of reflect and we learn from them, and then we get better after that. After all, in life, I feel that is we want to just even be a better version of ourselves. Yeah. Hmm.
So giving others the safe space to make mistakes and say it's okay, we just like what we always say in our community, right? Explore, experiment, and then you evaluate and try new things, right? If this doesn't work, then try something else. Yeah. So yeah, and that definitely helps to cultivate courage and encourage them to, keep trying new things, keep attempting, keep exploring, keep experimenting. Right.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there any in your journey, interacting and engaging with so many women, right? Mothers and women. What is one evident thing that keeps showing up? It could be a fear, some sort of a fear. Is there any particular type of fear or concern that keeps showing up among the women that you interact with?
I think different people will have different types of fears, and kind of like sometimes I feel that it's the fear of commitment that people might have. Like I don't think I can commit to this because of the fact that um I might not have the capacity to do so. So I think sometimes we just have to take up the challenge and be able to do the things that we need to do. Yeah. So the fear of commitment might be one of the fears out there that people might have.
How do you help them if this surface up? You know that it is a fear of commitment. How do you support them or encourage them to actually overcome that?
I think ultimately everybody has 24 hours a day. So I would think normally, because for me, I would actually organize my time into different segments. So be able to, have time for just even, of course, for work, for yourself, as well as for family. And then you just put those into different blocks. And then you'll be able to prioritize your time better. Yeah, so that's what I do for myself. So normally I encourage all my friends and people out there to be able to do a similar thing. Yeah, so I think ultimately also what really resonates with you. If a certain issue resonates with you, you just want to just go out and do it the best you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the word that stood out for me when you're sharing is priority or prioritization, right? If you're
Yeah,
able to exercise and cultivate the habit of prioritizing, it reduces the fear of commitment because you commit to what you are prioritizing. Yeah, and what you prioritize means what is important to you, right? What matters to you.
that's right.
Wow, thanks for that tips. Yeah, so for those of you who are listening out there, you are having the fear of commitment, or you find that your time is like all over the place. You are having so many different things on your plate and so chaotic, right? Like prioritize. Okay, let's talk a little bit about impact and transformation. Now, in driving, we are together in this to drive social impact, social change. We want to create a meaningful change in our communities. What role does courage play here in driving that social impact?
I believe that social impact, right? It means anything significant or positive change that solves or at least addresses social injustice and or
Mm.
challenges, right? So in that sense, what role courage can play is that, when and with everybody, just like example, if everybody, waits for everyone else to start the first move, then nobody will do it. So I believe courage plays a very important part to be able to
Mm.
help, to be able to be driven by somebody to take up the certain course of action, be it in terms of environmental or just even social causes. But in the long run, of course, it would be good to have sustainability in that sense. What role courage plays is actually very important because end of the day, we want to just even see that things just even be followed through. And then as if courage shows up, then eventually things will be able to continue and just even nobody will drop the ball in terms of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think again, one word that stood out while you were sharing is like, do we have the courage to initiate, right? To start, to jumpstart, to initiate. Yeah, and innovate even, right? Yeah, somebody got to jump first lah. Yeah.
That's
And
true.
I think, yeah, that's why courage is contagious. That's why you say courage is so important. Yeah, it's contagious, right? You see someone leading the way, walking the talk, and taking the initiative, or just do it afraid. Yeah. And I think that rubs off, that encourage others to follow, because they probably, most people that we know, right, that wants to create a common social change, we do have that desire and passion within us. It's just that who's going to start first? Now, is there any recent examples of any transformative leadership that you have witnessed and or inspired you recently?
Okay, so recently I did kind of like volunteer work in terms of just even organizing a part of the person organizing kind of a public speaking in the school. And then this school, the students are really super eager to learn how to do public speaking. And then we organize a talk especially for them to do table topics. Table topics is just even kind of like a Toastmasters tradition whereby they can speak off the cuff, in terms of any topic. You just give it any topic and then you have like 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes to just even speak about the topic. So, so I would say, yeah, so the person who organized it was in my club. And then I really felt that, this really is a very big transformation because can you imagine if you impact the young generations to know how to do public speaking. Their speeches will be, super wonderful and that they will be super confident in being able to speak in front of audience and they will know that their voice is very important. Yeah. Mm.
And able to communicate
Yeah.
that message, right?
Yes.
Articulate it in a way that people understand what you're saying. Otherwise, like you go around the whole world, people are like, what's the point? What's your point?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, we advocate a lot about core values in our community, right?
Mm.
So, what is one advice, or what are some of your advice that you can give to the leaders out there that striving to make an impact while still staying true to their core values?
So I always believe that when we do certain things or like kind of like proceed or before doing certain things, it's good to reflect on what's the next step we want to take and whether it's in line with our core values. So we can actually reflect and question ourselves and see how is it in line with our core values. So usually I will ask myself whether what I'm doing is the right thing to do before proceeding on that course of action. Yeah. So my advice would be just even reflecting to see what's the next step to take. Yeah.
Reflection, right?
Yes.
So the one word. Wow, with you a lot of one word pop up. Yeah, so the one word is really do introspective reflection, right? Especially, whether what we did or did not do, is aligned to our core values. I think that's a super way of doing a reflection, to keeping our core values in mind. Yeah. Thanks for that wonderful reminder and insights.
You're most
Now,
welcome.
let's move to the last two segments of the questions that I want to ask you, and that's about mentorship, because this is what we do and practice in our community as well, mentorship and empowerment, right? So, how has mentorship inspired courage and especially empowering the future transformative leaders? Because we are all about building courageous women leaders, right? So, how does mentorship inspire courage and play a part in all this?
So to me, mentorship means guiding people to just even, like make certain decisions, maybe like in terms of just even have a chat with them, asking them coaching questions and being able to, kind of know that, they're on the right track by, being able to guide them through the coaching questions. So this can inspire courage because mentors can also get their mentees to take action because, after all, some people say that talk is cheap, right? So if talk is cheap, then what is, the main thing? So the main thing is to take action. So no matter what happens, after all the talk and all, the most important thing is to take action. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think here we always like walk the talk, right? We advocate walk the talk, lead by example. That's our way of mentoring, right? Lead by example, walk the talk, do it with you. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Thanks. Thank you for that as well. Now, before we wrap up and talk a little bit about the summit, let's talk a little bit about communities. Right. So, how do you think communities like Women of Courage Asia, Her Courage Business Network, and Class Living, how do we contribute to fostering these courageous leaders?
So talking about communities, for example, Her Courage Business Network, I found that, like just even the introduction, like the 30 or 60-second introduction whereby we go up to ourselves, to go up on stage and introduce ourselves, and just even we present our pitch, that really takes courage. Yeah, that really takes courage. Because, if we kind of do that, I kind of like we show up, and then we also be able to practice our courage by just even speaking up. Yeah. So it's not just, like being behind the sidelines and things like that, but it's but little steps that we can take to be able to build courage and have an impact. So I would just even say like building courage is like baking a cake. Yeah, in a sense also. Like of course baking a cake you will need the right recipe, you need to follow the baking instructions, you need to have the cooking steps, step 1, step 2, step 3 to make sure it's delicious. But at the same time, it's just even a little steps that we take in order to build courage. And that's how communities like Her Courage Business Network, or just even this even a Woman of Courage Asia, you just share your story in front of the audience. That also takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
I think again, one word that pop up is a roadmap, a systematic roadmap that it's not a random. You come here, it's not like a random or there's no structure. So our communities, whether is it Courage Business Network or Women of Courage Asia or Class Livings programs, we all have a a blueprint, a roadmap, a systematic approach, right? So that each one feels safe also, and like you mentioned in your words, like baby steps, take one step at a time. Yeah. So yes, and that foster, the environment, that creates an environment where we feel safe, that we can grow at
Yeah.
our own pace. Yeah. We're not like thrown into the deep, right? Maybe pushed into the shallow, but not into the deep.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. Progressively, right?
No.
Progress. Okay, now let's before we wrap up, let's I just want to highlight about the summit that's happening on the 5th of April. Now, what motivated you to participate in this year's summit, and what does it mean to you?
So for me, okay, so the summit, this event is just a reminder of, like the love and commitment that's being shared and the shared experiences for the community, because the summit is like, also it falls on the same period as our anniversary, right? So the anniversary also pays tribute to the resilience of the community and also the ability to just weather all the storms together and emerge stronger on the other side. So this, I feel that the anniversary just even kind of like is a kind of a reflection of all these things. And then also anniversary to me is like a celebration of love, commitment, as well as the incredible journey that we shared all together. Yeah. So I feel that this summit is a very, very, every year when we celebrate anniversaries, I always feel that it's good to celebrate and we kind of like achieve so many milestones together. Yeah. So the summit is like a combination of all these.
Yeah, I think it really has been a journey. This is our 6th anniversary, right? Celebrating the journey of courage and witnessing so many women breaking through their fear barriers, overcoming their challenges, and it's really very inspiring. So this year's theme, which is aligned to this year's theme, is all about inspiring courage. And we also want to celebrate not just with women in our community, right? There are stories of courage, but also those out there that are also exhibiting courage, but nobody knows, right? The unsung heroines that are out there, and their story definitely can inspire another. So we really want to celebrate the courage of women out there as well. So do nominate. Yeah, just take this time to do a shout out, Do nominate the women in your life that you know are exhibiting courage. So yeah, go on to the link that we put in this description here, hercourageleaders.com. Right, click on the nominate her button, and yes, let's shine the spotlight on that woman that is so inspiring to you, and she will be very inspiring to many, many others. Okay. Now, one last advice, what advice would you give to those who are going to be receiving the awards, right? And the awards recipients, by the way, we have a panel of judges that will be selecting the nominees. So this is not like a paid award. It's really to recognize, like I mentioned earlier, the courage of all these individuals. So what advice would you give them? And actually, you are one of the award recipients. So what are you prepping yourself, before you take the stage? And yeah, share how you prep yourself with the other award nominees out there that will be selected.
Okay, so there's this thing whereby I always feel that, sometimes when you fail time and again, just don't give up and just keep going and then until you succeed. So there are always times whereby you feel down. There's sometimes that you feel, like life is not so good. But at the same time, just don't give up. So there's this saying, when life give you lemons, what do? Make lemonade. So when challenges come, just don't give up. And then perhaps if you can, have a voice and just speak up. Yeah. And then I believe life has solutions for you. You can always, there's always solutions out there when you try and try again. Yeah. So no matter what happens, just don't give up. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that. Never, never give up, right? Yeah. Just keep pressing through, and yeah, you see the result, the harvest, and yeah, and then don't journey alone as well.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Wendy. Um, all the valuable nuggets of wisdom that you have shared. Yeah, I think the video editor will going to have a hard time. So many points. Yeah. Now, so if you have found inspiration in today's episode, I encourage you to take action. Right? Whether it's just stepping out of your comfort zone or embracing new opportunities or supporting a cause like like what we're doing here at Women of Courage Asia, to drive a positive change. And stay connected with us, right, by subscribing, sharing, leaving a review. And if you'd like to connect with Wendy, right, do check out the links that we will place in this episode description as well. Do connect with her. She's a very, very nice lady. You can see her. She has this gentle courage. Yeah. So this has been another powerful episode of the Summit series on Voices of Courage Asia, where we inspire courage and for transformative impact. So until next time, keep leading with courage and making a difference in the world. We'll see you again. Bye.
Bye.